On the record, this is People of the State of Michigan versus James Edward Kennedy. Charge on case 2162372 with one count of police officer fleeing third-degree vehicle code with habitual offender fourth offense notice. Mr. Kennedy is also charged on case 2162292 with one count of home invasion first degree with habitual offender fourth offense notice. Both set for a preliminary examination today. Appearances.
Edwin Milwaukee P54828 appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Judge Richard Glenn, Mr. Kennedy. Judge, 32990. This is a date and time set for an exam on both cases. The matter is set for 1:30. It's now 1:40. I have no excuse for Mr. Kennedy's non-appearance. I have two appointments here with two different numbers. I called both numbers. My routine to call the night before to remind the people we have court, whether it's in person or Zoom. I have no contact with Mr. Kennedy and no excuse for non-appearance.
And it should be simple because he's on house arrest. So it should be anywhere but at home except for court and or medical. So, you done your part, anything from people?
People request.
I don't see any cases history with your client, so I will issue a $1,000 cash, I'm sorry, 1,000 personal on both cases.
How much?
1,000 personal,
Oh, 1,000.
since there's no case history, I don't think.
All right, thank you.
Actually, it is case history on the 21 case. I'll keep it the same, and if you find them, walk them in here.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Past it.
No, it's okay. That's such a hit.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. That's nice. record with the people of the state of Michigan versus Anna Dawn Bailey, case 21062466701. Ms. Bailey is charged with 1 count of controlled substance, delivery, and or manufacture cocaine or narcotic, less than 50 grams, set for a preliminary examination today. Appearances.
Edward Milwaukee, P54828, appearing on behalf of people.
Neighborhood Defender Service by Jackie Pilkowitz, P81653, on behalf of Ms. Bailey, who is standing to my right. Ms. Bailey, will you state your name for the judge, please?
Anna Dawn Bailey.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Your Honor.
Is everyone ready to move forward?
Yes, you are. Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
Any preliminary matters?
I do have one preliminary matter, people proposed exhibit 1, to be entered under MCL 7661B1A, I believe. It's a laboratory report from the Department of Forensic Science of Michigan State Police, indicating that one heat sealed plastic bag containing a knotted clear plastic bag containing folded paper packets. Indicated the test result was fentanyl with a weight of 0.2569 grams. Schedule 2.
Okay, has defense counsel had an opportunity to review that?
Yes, Judge, I just received it this morning, but for purposes of exam, I have no objection.
Okay, it is 766.11 B1A. I think you missed the 1.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Nevertheless, I understand exactly what you're trying to do. So I will have that entered with the instance, people exhibit 1. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
If there's anyone watching on YouTube or Zoom who may be a witness on this case, now's your time to log off. Will there be an officer in charge?
No, I don't, there might be. He's here, I don't know if he'll come in or not, I don't know.
Will you be testifying?
No.
Okay. So if the officer in charge does enter, you have objection for that?
As long as he's not testifying, no objection.
Okay, you call your first witness. Mr. Dwyer.
People call Trooper Mark Finney.
Last name is Finney, P-H-E-E-N-E-Y. First name is Mark.
You swear to tell the truth, don't you?
Thank you.
The door opens right here in the front, the tall, skinny microphone. Is you.
Thank you.
Ready, Mr. Dwyer?
And you. Trooper, can you state for the record, can you state your name and occupation?
Sir, my name is Mark Finney. I'm a trooper with Michigan State Police.
And how long have you been with that agency?
Approximately 9.5 years.
And were you on duty on June 12th, 2020?
I was.
And were you on duty at, in the area of 4th Street and Woodmere?
Yes, sir.
And that's in the state of Detroit, County Board, right?
Yes.
What were you doing in that area?
At the time, I was actually assigned to our 2nd District fugitive team, supplement closed assignment. And we were monitoring a house. And we were asked to pick up a suspect with a warrant, Mrs. Bailey.
Objection, hearsay, as to being asked to pick up a suspect with an outstanding warrant, that is hearsay. In addition, the warrant itself would also be hearsay to the extent that he didn't have firsthand knowledge of the warrant existence.
I'm just offering to explain why the trooper was in that area at that time.
Yeah, I will allow it. I don't think it's not offered for the truth of the matter, sir, in this case.
Understood.
Is the person you were looking for in this courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
Could you point her out and describe a piece of clothing that this person may be wearing?
She's defendant, peach colored shirt, black pants.
Let the record reflect that the trooper has identified the defendant?
So reflected.
When you saw this, the defendant, what did you do?
Well, I was working with a team, so we started leaving the residence and followed her. Some of the guys on the team stopped her. Then we arrested her on her warrant.
And, did you have an opportunity to talk with the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Describe the circumstances that was going.
She was taken into custody, and I put her in my vehicle, and we're taken to the Metro South Post in Taylor to turn her over to Sergeant Copter.
And, your discussion, what did that consist of?
I told her what was going on, what the warrant was for. During the ride, which I asked everybody, she's being a female, I couldn't actually do it. Thorough search, so I asked her if she had anything on her that I missed, or that I might have missed.
And what was her response?
So she had some heroin on her.
What happened next, once you got to your destination?
We got to the Metro South Post, we had a female trooper search her, and they found
Objection, no person, lack of personal knowledge, so can't testify with female trooper.
The observer. So clarify.
Yeah. Were you able to observe the search?
I was, I'm sorry. I was.
That's fine. And what was the result? Who was the crew? Female crew?
Trooper Brown,
And what was the result of that search?
found a baggie of heroin packets.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
She found a baggie of heroin packets in the front of her pants.
And then you refer that that's the test for that is our exhibit one. What did you do with the drugs?
Turned them over to Sergeant Copter.
Thank you, officer. At this time, I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Officer Feeney.
Yeah,
You testified that on June 12th, 2020, you were with a fugitive team,
yes, ma'am.
and who were the other officers that were on your team that day?
Detective Sergeant Papua, Detective Trooper Sicko, Detective Trooper Tyler. They were on my team, and then there were some other people involved too. They were all part of, it's a multi-jurisdictional team, sorry.
Okay, and were you in a patrol car on that day?
No, ma'am.
Were you in an unmarked car that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you by yourself or with a partner in that vehicle?
By myself.
And you received information from the team concerning an outstanding warrant from Ms. Bailey? Did you receive information concerning an outstanding warrant from Ms. Bailey?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
You yourself didn't run her name and lead.
I did. We checked the warrant.
You didn't know that in your report.
Pardon me, I did not.
Okay, and you would agree that your report was prepared contemporaneous with the events of this case about 3 years ago, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And today, like I said, it's been 3 years, so you would agree your memory was definitely better at the time of the incident than it would be today.
Yes, ma'am.
And so had you run her name and lean, that's something that you would have put inside of your report.
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's not included in your report.
Right, I just put the warrant information in there.
You testified that you arrested Ms. Bailey, you secured her in handcuffs,
Yes, ma'am.
and you put her in the back of your squad car.
No, ma'am.
Okay, where did you take her in handcuffs?
Put her in the front seat of my unmarked car.
Okay, she's in the front seat of your unmarked car. And you take her to the Metro State Police Post,
Metro South, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Metro South. And she's still in handcuffs at this time,
Yes, ma'am.
and she's under arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
And you testified that you asked her if she had anything on her person.
Yes, ma'am.
And she responded that she had heroin.
Yes, ma'am.
And before you asked her if she had anything, at no point did you issue Miranda warnings.
No, ma'am.
And at no point did you observe your partner or any other officer issue Miranda warnings.
No, ma'am.
You testified that Officer Brown is who searched Miss Bailey's person at the police station, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You testified you observed this search.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Brown recovered the alleged substances from inside of Miss Bailey's pants, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're telling me that that inside of pants search on a female is something that you could have observed?
That's your search, ma'am. You're asking me did.
I guess strike that. There's a reason that a female officer conducts a search on a female suspect,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
And there are privacy concerns.
Yes, ma'am.
When a female trooper searches a female suspect and does so in their pants and searches in their pants, you wouldn't be there to watch that search.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you were not physically present when Officer Brown reached into her pants and recovered any suspected heroin.
Answer a clarifying question, ma'am.
You could ask a clarifying question, but it's really yes or no. You did not observe Miss Brown put her hands down Miss Bailey's pants.
I did not see Trooper Brown put her hands down things like that.
So you did not observe Miss Trooper Brown recover the heroin from Miss Bailey's pants.
Trooper Brown handed me the heroin on the part of her pants.
Okay, but Trooper Brown recovered it, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, you testified on direct that you observed this search, but in fact, you did not observe this search.
Not the going down the pants, no, ma'am.
Okay, and not the recovery of the heroin itself.
Not until Trooper Brown gave it to me, correct.
And after Officer Brown recovered the heroin, Miss Bailey was in fact released from custody on that day. Correct?
I don't know what that meant.
Would looking at your report help refresh your recollection? If so, you can take a look at your report.
I just said the custody of Bailey and the heroin was turned over to Detective Sergeant Cochran.
Just one moment, Judge. Other than the heroin that was recovered by Officer Brown, you did not recover any other evidence that was logged in this case.
I believe it was just the heroin.
I have no further questions, Judge.
Can you talk to the defendant? You may, and ask her whether or not she had drug card. Why did you do that? You say, I believe you testified, say that basically everyone?
I didn't specifically ask drugs, I just asked if there's anything we might have missed. Could be drugs, could be a weapon, could be anything along those lines, sharp object. Usually ask everyone that comes into my car.
Why did you?
It's just to ask, make sure that we're not gonna miss something. Sometimes it's not to bring it to jail, they don't need to bring it to jail, but, you know, you didn't bring it to jail, this is obviously something we need to talk about. So,
When the actual search is going on, you in the same room?
Objection asked and answered.
Not
Not the same room, I don't even know who's in the room based off the testimony.
so in our post, the room where it searches where the camera is where there's also our cells. It's an open door. I was outside that door looking into it. No, I didn't watch the whole search, obviously going down the pants like I said, like I said. But I was in the room looking through the door. Open door.
I have nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Just briefly. So you just testified that you were looking through the open door during the search?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but on cross, you testified you didn't see Officer Brown reach into Ms. Bailey's pants and recover the heroin.
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
People have no further witness.
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the people move that gonna be found over on count one, controlled substance, delivery, manufactured cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic, less than 50 grams. Reserve argument.
Your Honor, the defense objects to the bind over on this delivery charge. This isn't a possession charge. So I've got a bunch of layers here. I'd like to first start with the stop and arrest of Miss Bailey's person. The court ruled that the officer's testimony concerning the warrant that was outstanding was not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted. But that means it's not being offered as evidence and as the basis for the arrest of Miss Bailey. So the people have not met their burden of establishing either that there was a valid warrant for Miss Bailey's arrest and what that warrant was even for, or alternatively, that there was probable cause to arrest Miss Bailey in the first place. So we are challenging the basis for the arrest on the grounds that the people have not met their burden. There has been no admissible evidence concerning the reasons for Miss Bailey's arrest. Additionally, Your Honor, as the court would note, at no point did the trooper who testified himself actually observe or recover any of the alleged substances that we're in fact dealing with. It's hearsay that this officer, Anna Brown, who in fact did the search of Miss Bailey's person, said, hey, I recovered this from her pants and gave it to the officer. But without any firsthand knowledge, he did not see the search happen. That was made abundantly clear. He did not see the recovery of the drugs. So that is another basis on which the people have failed to meet their burden of probable cause. Additionally, Judge, the Miranda violations. She was asked about whether there was anything on her person after being in custody, secured in handcuffs. I think the testimony was unclear at best concerning whether it happened inside of the vehicle or at the station. That doesn't matter. She was in handcuffs and she was in custody. And the officer failed to Mirandize her before asking incriminating statements. And finally, Judge, I think the most glaring issue is where is this evidence of delivery, intent to deliver? We have testimony, even if the court were to overlook any of those other hurdles concerning the violation of Miss Bailey's constitutional rights. Even if we were to believe everything that this officer had to say, for instance, that he himself ran the lead, although that was not included in his report, which was prepared at the time of the incident, and now 3 years later, he's saying, well, yeah, I ran the name and lead. But even if we were to overlook those, Judge, there's no evidence of intent to deliver. There's no testimony concerning scales. There's no testimony concerning money that would have been recovered on Miss Bailey's person. What we have here at best would be a simple possession charge And even that, the people cannot meet the burden. So, Your Honor, for all of those reasons, we're asking the court to dismiss this case.
Mr. Swan,
Your Honor, they had, the trooper was acting on a warrant. He's in the fugitive, or at that time, he was in the fugitive apprehension department. He arrested the defendant was arrested. He asked question, he asked everybody, just to make sure that they don't have anything that could hurt them. You heard the trooper say it could be needles, knives, anything. And that's part of the safety. Defendant admitted that she had drugs on her. And when she was searched, they were found. And the lab report speaks for itself. So we ask that the defendant be bound over on count one.
would you remind me to discuss the airport after we get done with this case regarding your client? You just remember.
Sure, but, okay,
Thank you. Never mind. Okay, so there are several issues with this case. One issue that I was waiting to hear the testimony regarding intent to deliver. And I don't have any evidence of intent to deliver. That is the one charge here. As the defense counsel stated, there are no, what typically would be several bills, single dollar, $5, $10 denominations, lotto fold, Ziploc baggies, digital scale, drugs broken up into very small quantity that would infer that someone is manufacturing and delivering intent that drug. There were drugs found. So with that alone, I'm going to dismiss without prejudice for execution.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.